Today we have Naruto Online. This is the officially licensed Naruto browser MMO. It's a autopathing game that uses a lot of turn-based RPG elements. As you can see, we're just starting the game. We're about to start one of the first missions here, and the game's not that bad. I didn't watch a lot of Naruto. Um, when the anime came out, but I watched a little bit of it, so I kind of had a little idea what the story was going into this. So, if you've watched the anime at all, the storyline of this game is gonna be very familiar for you. It basically follows the anime pretty closely, and that's that's basically what you're gonna get outside of the grinding missions that you get here. Right now, we're just beating up a little kid with Naruto. Um, it's the first of several little kid bashings that we'll be doing in this mission. Most of these story-based missions are in an instance model, so you'll start to notice it as we get on going on here a little bit further. That they'll use what's in the original story as your companions for your instance. So what you end up getting is, once I unlock Naruto here and I add him to my squad, um, if I do a mission that had Naruto in the storyline, I will now have two Narutos. But like off to the left or the right, there'll be another squad of characters, and they'll be also fighting alongside us, which is a kind of a weird quirk that you get going on with this, but I'm guessing the idea is that you can come back and replay them like you would with any other MMO and get like rare drops and such. Beyond that, the combat isn't too bad. Most of the gameplay is pretty smooth. The only one downside I have is right in the beginning here, when you're learning how to play and they're putting you through all your first missions and such. They make it a little too easy for you. And what I mean by that is there were a few fights that I had that I didn't even have to control the characters with their special moves, because the NPC will actually take over and do most of their special moves for themselves. They're in your squad. They could have just finished the fight on their own and they didn't need much of my help. But I'm thinking that's mainly just because I was so early in the game. Once I got further on, I played this for about an hour or so. Once I got a little bit further into the game, I had to actually try and be a little bit more tactical with how I was playing the game. But like I said in the beginning, is really easy. I feel like they could have made it a little bit harder. To help you get more acclimated to the idea of what they want, which the way this game is set up, it's all turn-based, so you get the turn-based RPG aspect, and it has that strategy that you need to put together with your squad that you build, of where you're gonna put people and how you're gonna use them. Right now we're about to jump into another instance here. If you've seen Naruto, you know pretty much what's going to happen here. They actually, right here, they steal little pictures and images from the anime itself to help carry along that storyline, which I think is pretty cool. So right now we're seeing that quirk I was telling you about, where you have doubles of people playing. So you see I have my Naruto up there, and then there's this one at the bottom. That's just because in the instance Naruto's fighting him. So if it was just me in there, there'd only be one. But it's just a weird quirk that they have in there, especially in the beginning, because they know who you will have in your squad. So you think they could work around it somehow, but apparently not. You notice I'm playing this guy with an orange vest in the back. That's one of the 5 characters you could choose. They have the typical 5 character setup: the tank, the sorcerer, the rogue type, the healer, and like a berserker type. This one that I have is the sorcerer type. He shoots off a fireball that does AoE damage. So depending on who you pick in the beginning, you have a lot of choice with how you're going to be playing the game and how you build your squad around your main character. You can see there that I use my character right off the bat there to use his AoE attack and to bring down those two at the same time. That's a common move I'll be using. That and switch between Naruto's double cloning thing. I can't remember what it's called right now, but it really does change. Just change how the game goes depending on what move you open with. I like the. It seems like the combat has a lot of openness to it. Like you can really just hone in this play style that you want, and it makes up for it because in the character creation you don't get any customization at all. So the ability that you get to customize how your team works and how everyone plays together is pretty cool. I like that a lot. You've probably noticed through the animations that it's pretty well animated, and there's they didn't take too many budget cuts in that area, which I really liked. Another thing is like the art that they have in this game is pretty good. You know, it's browser based, so you can't expect too much from it, but everything looks, nice. The one downside I would say is when you come into a new environment, it may take a little time to load, so things get pixelated for a little bit. But, it's not a game breaker. It's pretty alright. You can see right there, it kind of gets that little wavy, pixelated thing going on. So, kind of the question is, who's this game for? Like, who wants to play this game? It's going to be anyone that's watched the Naruto series or the manga. If you don't really know much about the storyline, you can kind of pick it up through this, but there's a lot of, side jokes and stuff like that. They kind of gloss over the storyline. So if you're going to be watching the show for a first time, this would be a great thing to play alongside as you do it. Or if you've already seen it back when it originally came out and you just feel like, trying out a new MMO on your browser, you got time to kill and stuff, and you like Naruto a lot, this would be a great MMO for you. It's a little refresher of how the story went, so you don't have to remember everything exactly, and it has some pretty good gameplay. So I gotta say, for being a browser game, it's pretty good. And taking that I'm not a huge Naruto fan or a turn-based combat fan, I got pretty hooked on this for a little while. I played for an hour straight without even noticing. I'm probably gonna play it a few more times before I set it down for good. But it's a good way to pass time. It's a fun way to pass time, I should say. So my recommendation is, just from this first look I had, go ahead and try it out. Give it a try. It's pretty fun. You probably won't be disappointed if you like Naruto. If you don't like Naruto and you're a little interested, watch the first few episodes of the anime and then try playing this. You'll start picking up on little jokes that they have in it, like the Naruto turning naked before each fight to debuff the enemy. That's stuff like that. But give the game a try, and thanks for watching.